Hi, future teacher, and welcome to this full-length pre-K through 4 practice test covering Module 3 for people who want to become a licensed teacher in the state of Pennsylvania. This video is proudly presented by teacherpreps.com, the #1 choice for test prep to pass your teacher certification exam. If you're watching this, you have probably just completed the pre-K through 4 Module 3 practice test and are watching to review the answer solutions. If you haven't yet taken the practice test, we do not recommend that you watch this video, for inadvertent exposure will spoil your chance to actually take the practice test and, most importantly, check your readiness for exam day. If you haven't enrolled yet, navigate to teacherpreps.com and click on the blue button labeled Get Test Prep Now to get all the resources you need to pass in one place. Alright, great. Let's start this first question. A preschool teacher introduces counting games that involve physical movement, like jumping or clapping, for each number counted. This approach is primarily effective because the purpose of this activity is that it integrates kinesthetic learning with numerical concepts, which is answer option letter A. While taking Module 3 of your pre-K through for exam, keep in mind that combining physical movement with counting helps integrate kinesthetic learning with numerical concepts, supporting both cognitive and physical development in young children. All right, good start. Our next question asks, in a classroom setting, a teacher uses a variety of shapes to teach preschoolers basic geometry. Which aspect of mathematical development is this activity primarily targeting? In this case, letter option B looks like our best solution, and that's because using shapes to teach geometry helps young children develop spatial awareness by understanding the properties and differences between various shapes. Great, moving on. A first-grade teacher uses a garden planting activity to teach basic addition and subtraction. This integrative approach helps students make connections between mathematics and which other content area? In this case, by linking mathematics with plant growth and measurements in a garden activity, students can see the practical application of math in understanding scientific concepts like growth rates and volume. For this reason, answer option A is best. Let's keep going. A teacher introduces measurement by asking students to compare the lengths of different items in their classroom using a ruler. To accommodate all learners, she could modify the activity by. To accommodate all learners, this teacher could have students estimate lengths before measuring to build estimation skills, which is the answer from letter D. The reasoning is because estimating before measuring introduces a scaffold that helps all students engage with the concept at their own level, enhancing understanding before they apply precision. A second-grade teacher uses quick daily math quizzes to gauge students' understanding of new arithmetic concepts taught that week. This type of assessment is best classified as formative assessments, or letter C, which help teachers monitor students' understanding in real time and adjust instruction to meet ongoing learning needs. All right, next up. When preparing for parent-teacher conferences, a teacher decides to use benchmark assessment results. The primary purpose of discussing these results is to Option B, show progress and compare it with grade-level expectations. When completing your exam, make sure you have a firm grasp on all the types of assessments that are listed in our study guide. In this case, benchmark assessments provide a comparison of a student's performance against established grade-level standards, useful for communicating progress to parents. A third-grade teacher asks students to explain their thought process after solving a word problem involving fractions. This practice primarily enhances students' ability to use mathematical terminology accurately in explanations. This is the solution from letter A. Remember that encouraging students to articulate their problem-solving process helps them learn to use mathematical language effectively, enhancing their communication and understanding of mathematical concepts. Excellent. Our next question asks, To illustrate the concept of budgeting, a teacher assigns students the task of planning a small party with a fixed amount of money. This activity demonstrates the application of which mathematical concept in a real-world context. The correct response here comes from letter C. Budgeting for a party using a fixed sum of money requires students to apply addition and subtraction in a practical context, linking classroom math to everyday financial decisions. Is that the answer you put too? Great job! Let's move to the next question. A preschool teacher uses a variety of colorful blocks to teach children how to sort by color and size. This activity primarily develops children's skills in. The activity helps build children's skills in classifying and sorting based on multiple attributes, which comes from letter B. Well done! If you've stuck around this far, give yourself a pat on the back. You are doing a phenomenal job. Next up, during circle time, a teacher introduces a game where children must identify and create patterns using different colored beads. This activity helps young learners develop how to recognize and expand patterns. Answer option letter A. Excellent. Let's go to the next question. Here we go. A kindergarten teacher uses a digital app that allows students to interactively practice adding and subtracting within 10. This use of technology primarily enhances learning by. So, this technology mostly helps with learning through providing that important feedback based on the student responses, which comes from answer option letter D. Interactive apps are great for this functionality, don't you think? To build number sense, a first-grade teacher introduces a number line activity where students jump to specific positions based on addition or subtraction clues. This activity helps students understand. When I look at these answer options, I can recall that using a number line in physical activities helps students visually and kinesthetically grasp the sequential and relational aspects of numbers, enhancing their number sense through practical application. So it looks like option B is the best solution. All right, let's read this. A second-grade teacher uses pattern blocks to introduce the concept of symmetry and basic geometric shapes. This tactile learning method primarily helps students visualize geometric properties and relationships, which is option A, since this will help students to physically manipulate and explore different shapes, which is great instructional strategy that this teacher has chosen. Excellent work, future teacher. Let's put some more practice question reps in and get you totally prepared for exam day. To introduce basic concepts of algebra, a teacher incorporates a game where students balance objects on both sides of a makeshift scale to solve for an unknown quantity. This activity effectively demonstrates. The balancing scale activity visually represents algebraic principles such as equality and solving for unknowns, which is the answer option for letter B, making abstract concepts more concrete and understandable for young learners. Great work! Let's keep going. Next up, a third-grade teacher introduces a classroom activity where students collect data on their favorite fruits and then graph the results using a bar chart. This activity primarily enhances students' skills in. The activity here is applying basic data collection and graphical representation techniques, marked as answer option A. Did you mark letter A too? Wonderful job, future teacher. Next question. To introduce concepts of probability, a kindergarten teacher uses a spinner with different colored sections and asks students to predict which color the spinner will land on most often. This method effectively demonstrates. Letter option D. Basic principles of probability and outcome prediction. Keep in mind that using a color spinner to predict outcomes introduces young learners to the concept of probability by allowing them to experiment with and discuss the likelihood of various results. Look for hands-on responses like this when taking your exam. Let's move to the next question. A preschool teacher introduces a simple experiment where students predict and observe what happens when salt is added to ice. This activity is primarily designed to teach young students about This activity introduces the scientific method by encouraging students to make predictions and observe the effects of adding salt to ice, fostering foundational inquiry skills, which comes from answer letter A. To enhance scientific thinking, a kindergarten teacher sets up a nature exploration area where students can observe plants and insects with magnifying glasses. This setup primarily helps develop. The correct response here comes from letter B, as using magnifying glasses to observe nature allows students to enhance their observational and inquiry skills. Nice work! Moving to the next question. A second-grade teacher uses a classroom garden to teach plant biology alongside lessons on nutrition by tracking the growth of vegetables. This integrated approach primarily helps students make connections between. The response I like the most here comes from letter A, and that's because using a classroom garden to teach plant biology alongside nutrition lessons enables students to directly see how the growth of plants relates to health and nutrition, making tangible connections between biology and health education. To accommodate various learning styles in a unit on the solar system, a teacher uses models, videos, and interactive quizzes. This method of differentiating instruction is effective because it engages visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learners through instructional resources from answer option D. Now, by using these instructional techniques, the teacher addresses the needs of various learning styles, ensuring that students with different learning styles are served. Let's keep this momentum going. A third-grade teacher uses a series of quick, daily quizzes to check students' understanding of a new science topic on ecosystems. This type of assessment is best described as a formative assessment, which provide ongoing feedback about students' understanding, enabling the teacher to make real-time instructional adjustments to improve learning outcomes. This was the second answer in this practice test that checked your understanding of formative assessments. Did you get both questions correct? Well done, future teacher. Next question. Before starting a unit on the water cycle, a science teacher administers a pretest to determine students' existing knowledge. This type of assessment is primarily used for diagnosing student understanding to tailor upcoming lessons, or letter B. For exam day, remember that a pretest serves as a diagnostic tool, helping the teacher identify what the students already know about the water cycle, which can then inform how the unit should be taught to meet their educational needs. You're doing excellent. Let's keep this practice test moving. This question asks, a fourth-grade teacher introduces a unit on ecosystems by discussing the concept of energy flow in food webs. This approach helps students understand which unifying concept of science. The correct solution here is letter A. Discussing energy flow within food webs illustrates the conservation of mass and energy, a key unifying concept that shows how energy is transferred but not destroyed within ecological systems. To foster an understanding of scientific inquiry, a teacher has students design an experiment to test how different variables affect plant growth. This activity primarily teaches students about Option B. Procedures for conducting controlled scientific investigations appears to be the best solution here, as designing experiments to test variables affecting plant growth enables students to learn and apply procedures for setting up controlled scientific investigations. Has it been a while since you've taken a standardized exam about science? You're doing great. These upcoming questions will help you feel more confident for exam day. Let's keep this good study flow going. A second-grade teacher introduces a unit on plant life by having students grow their own plants from seeds. This hands-on activity primarily helps students understand letter C. The structure of plants through observing growth changes over time. Growing plants from seeds allows students to directly observe the structure and functions of plants, providing a practical understanding of botany concepts. All right, let's read this one. To explain the concept of animal adaptations, a teacher uses a variety of bird beak models to demonstrate how different shapes are suited to specific food sources. This activity effectively teaches students about letter D looks most appropriate here. Adaptation by linking beak shapes with feeding habits and environmental interactions. And that's because using bird beak models to show suitability to specific food sources helps students understand adaptations as evolutionary changes that enhance survival in particular environments. A fourth-grade teacher organizes a field trip to a local farm to demonstrate the relationship between agriculture and society. This activity primarily helps students understand letter C, how agricultural practices impact food availability and local economies. As visiting a local farm allows students to see firsthand how farming practices affect food production and contribute to the local economy, illustrating the practical aspects of agriculture's role in society. Great! Let's read this question. To introduce the concept of integrated pest management, a teacher sets up a classroom experiment where students observe the use of ladybugs to control aphid populations on plants. This lesson aims to teach students about letter A, the benefits of using biological control methods in managing pests. The reasoning here is because using ladybugs as a biological control to manage aphids helps students understand integrated pest management strategies that minimize environmental impact compared to chemical pesticides. Up next, a teacher demonstrates the concept of states of matter by showing how water can exist as a solid, liquid, or gas. This demonstration is primarily designed to help students understand letter B looks like a sound solution here. The physical properties of matter and how they change with temperature. Demonstrating water in different states teaches students about the physical properties of matter and how temperature changes can lead to state transitions, essential concepts in physical science. All right, next, to explain different forms of energy, a teacher uses solar panels to power small fans in the classroom. This activity helps students grasp answer option D, the conversion of solar energy into electrical energy. Using solar panels to power fans illustrates the practical application and conversion of solar energy into electrical energy, making abstract energy concepts tangible and understandable. A teacher uses a 3D model of the Earth's layers to teach students about the structure and function of Earth systems. This visual tool helps students understand. In this case, option A is best, the composition and characteristics of each layer, from the crust to the core. Using a 3D model of the Earth's layers enables students to visually and tactily explore the composition of the Earth, enhancing their understanding of geological structures and their functions. To illustrate the water cycle, a second-grade teacher sets up a small terrarium in the classroom, demonstrating evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. This activity effectively teaches students about letter option C, the closed-loop cycle of water movement within environmental systems, is the most appropriate answer here. A classroom terrarium simulates the water cycle in a controlled environment, showing students how water evaporates, condenses, and precipitates, which helps them understand the cyclical nature of water in ecosystems. Great! Let's have a look at our next question. A preschool teacher incorporates a variety of dance styles from around the world into the physical education curriculum. This activity primarily enhances children's understanding and appreciation of option A is correct, different cultural expressions and the importance of physical fitness. Integrating global dance styles into physical activities helps children appreciate diverse cultural expressions while highlighting the role of physical fitness in enhancing movement and self-expression. Excellent. Let's look at this example. In an effort to promote healthy eating habits, a first-grade teacher organizes a Taste of the World Day, where students bring in and share foods from their family's cultural backgrounds. This activity is effective in teaching children about We'll select answer option D on this one. The diversity of dietary habits of cultural and environmental factors. Taste of the World Day allows students to explore and understand the diversity of dietary habits, providing insights into how these practices are shaped by cultural and environmental factors, thereby fostering a broader understanding of global health perspectives. A kindergarten teacher chooses to use soft foam balls in a throwing and catching lesson. This choice is primarily aimed at. We're going to go with letter B here, enhancing safety among young learners new to ball games. Using soft foam balls helps ensure safety and builds confidence in young children as they learn the basic skills of throwing and catching, suitable for their developmental stage. Moving forward, our next question reads, to support the development of fine motor skills, a preschool teacher incorporates Play-Doh into daily activities. The use of Play-Doh effectively helps children. Answer option C is correct. Develop strength and dexterity in their hands and fingers. The reason is that manipulating Play-Doh is excellent for enhancing fine motor skills, as it requires children to use their hands and fingers to shape and mold the material, building strength and coordination. A physical education teacher introduces a variety of group games that involve running, jumping, and dodging to students of different skill levels. To differentiate instruction, the teacher might adjust the difficulty of the games based on student abilities, which comes from option letter C. Keep in mind that adjusting game difficulty ensures that all students are engaged at their appropriate skill levels, promoting inclusive and effective learning in physical education. Let's keep going. To accommodate students with varying levels of motor skills, a teacher uses adaptive tools like grip-enhanced rackets and lighter balls in tennis lessons. This approach primarily serves to. The answer is letter D. Provide all students with an equal chance to develop tennis skills in a supportive environment. Using adaptive tools like grip-enhanced rackets and lighter balls helps tailor the learning experience to individual needs, ensuring all students can participate and develop skills at their own pace. Up next, a physical education teacher uses a series of skill-based drills at the beginning of the school year to assess students' basic motor skills. This type of assessment is best described as. Option B is most appropriate here. Remember that diagnostic assessments like skill-based drills help identify students' initial motor skill levels, enabling the teacher to tailor subsequent instruction and support to meet each student's needs effectively. To monitor progress in a unit on cardiovascular health, a teacher administers weekly fitness tests measuring heart rate recovery after exercise. These tests are primarily. Option B. Formative assessments, which in this case provide continuous insight into students' cardiovascular health and enabling real-time adjustments to fitness instruction. A health education teacher incorporates lessons on the importance of daily exercise and balanced nutrition. This approach primarily aims to teach students about. Option A. Developing and maintaining physical fitness through lifestyle choices is our best answer, because by teaching the importance of daily exercise and balanced nutrition, the educator helps students understand how these factors contribute to maintaining physical fitness and overall health. Our next question reads, to promote safety during physical activities, a teacher ensures that all students understand and apply basic first aid and safety protocols. This practice helps students. Option B. Respond effectively to injuries and emergencies in any physical setting. Teaching students basic first aid and safety protocols equips them with essential skills to manage and respond to injuries, enhancing safety during physical activities. A preschool teacher sets up various stations with activities like threading beads, cutting shapes, and stacking blocks. This setup primarily aims to improve children's. Letter answer A. Fine motor skills through precise hand movements and coordination is the best answer for this question. Activities like threading beads and cutting shapes are excellent for developing fine motor skills, as they require precision and coordination, which are crucial in early childhood development. Next question. To enhance gross motor skills and promote a positive attitude towards physical activity, an elementary school teacher organizes team-based relay races that include running, jumping, and throwing. This activity helps students. Answer letter B. Develop coordination, strength, and teamwork skills. The reasoning is because relay races are engaging and fun, promoting not only the development of gross motor skills like running and jumping, but also encouraging teamwork and a positive attitude towards physical activities. Last question. Here we go. A physical education teacher always starts classes by ensuring all students perform warm-up exercises. This practice primarily helps to prevent injuries by preparing muscles and joints for physical activity, from answer option letter D. For this problem, warm-up exercises are crucial for preventing injuries during physical activities, as they prepare the body by gradually increasing heart rate and loosening joints. Tedious, challenging, and time-consuming as reviewing this practice test was, you made it all the way to the end, future teacher, and by watching this video, you're putting yourself on the path to passing Module 3 of your Pre-K through 4 exam. Way to go, and good luck on exam day.